This sermon wasn't exciting enough. That's a new one.
Okay. Today, President Donald Trump attended the National Prayer Service, and as you just saw, wasn't excited by it. But the full video featuring his entire awkward exchange with the reporter is even funnier, so let's take a look at that.
Mr. President, what did you think of the sermon? What did you think of the sermon? What did you think of the
What did you think of the service?
What did you think? Did you like it? Did you find it exciting? Not too exciting, was it? I didn't think it was a good service, no. Thank you very much.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
They can do much better.
So he didn't find it exciting. That was the first video I saw related to this story, right? So I was amused by it because yeah, like church service is usually not exciting. Like what did you expect? You wanted like WWE wrestling to be involved? Like make it more entertaining? He wants like a big production? It turns out there's another reason why he wasn't too happy.
There is another reason, but he also means that too, right? That's why he normally doesn't go to church, because he's like, why am I sitting here talking about someone that isn't me? And I don't get to talk at all, and they never mention the word Trump. I hate this. That's why he never goes, right?
Yeah.
But I do have a suggestion for him. Try a black church. There, it's usually more entertaining, right? There's a lot more singing. People get up and they sway back and forth. They have fun, right?
It does seem like they're having fun. There's also the mega churches that televangelists lead. It reminds me of this HBO show, Righteous Gemstones. So you watch that?
No.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. Like singing, dancing, like it's super cheesy, but people love it. Anyway,
or Pentecostal, go with the snakes and all that. That's a lot of fun.
We're introducing animals to the situation. Okay, but in all seriousness, Trump was actually salty about the National Prayer Service, if you ask me, because of an interaction that took place with a pastor by the name of Maryanne Budd. Let's take a look.
Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals.
Not too excited about that.
Not very exciting. I wasn't praised at all. Instead, LGBTQ people and immigrants were praised. Don't like it, not excited at all. So I love the faces when they realize that she's about to say something they don't agree with.
It was very awkward.
My favorite was JD Vance.
Yeah.
Actually, to be more accurate, my favorite was JD Vance's wife, Usha, because JD Vance kept looking over like, well, I can't like any look, and Usha's looking straight forward.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I don't want to engage. I don't want to make fun of her. I think she's doing something great. Okay, that's my assessment. I'm psychoanalyzing, okay? But yeah, overall super awkward. But by the way, to that preacher, love it because you're challenging them like you're supposed to in a sermon, right? And you're challenging them to do better. And you know that he's not going to love that, but you had the courage to say it anyway. Now, as a person who's an atheist, I will say, it depends on the preacher, isn't it? They can push an anti-gay message, they can push a pro-gay message. Which one is God actually in favor of? No one really knows. It depends on your preacher.
So as I mentioned, the pastor's name is Maryanne Budd, and apparently Republican Congressman Mike Collins was so upset about that whole sermon that he has now suggested that she should be on the deportation list, even though there's no indication that she's an immigrant at all. Like,
I mean, talk about missing the point of the sermon. Look, I would have done a little different. Easy to criticize. I'm certainly not a preacher. I'm not a religious figure in any way, but I would have done the story of how Jesus welcomed an immigrant in. Right, and that's in the Bible, and Trump has of course never heard that, never read the Bible, so it would have been powerful to talk about how Jesus accepted the immigrants.
What do you mean he hasn't read the Bible? He sells his own brand of Bibles.
I'm sure he read through that assiduously. But look, truth to power. That's what we're asking for.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to move him, but at least she got that message out and shows that Christianity can be used as a sign, as a force for good. We hear so many right-wing preachers over and over and over again in the media, constantly pushing out hate and greed and Jesus wants you to be rich. Well, not really. He wants me to be rich and he wants you to give me your money, right? Yeah. All these disgusting messages, and at the end, then Christians are wondering, why is religion going down in America? Well, because all the preachers that are on TV, let me put it that way, not the real life, but on TV.
The grifter preachers.
The grifter preachers are the worst things ever. They're the worst marketing for Christianity you can imagine. And I can get into the other religions and how their leaders have deep problems as well. I'm not trying to pick on Christianity. In fact, I'm saying it as a sign of this is what a good preacher looks like, in my opinion.
Yeah, and look, it takes courage to single out the president of the United States like that for as long as she did it too. Look, I don't have a problem with anything she said. I did feel very uncomfortable watching that second video. It's just because you're an empath. I'm not, but even when I sense other people in an area of discomfort, it makes me uncomfortable.
Totally. So I get it. No, I'm viscerally uncomfortable watching that because you feel Trump's awkwardness and he he doesn't want to listen to it. Also, let alone everyone around
everyone
him.
Else, yeah.
But the only one I empathized with was Usha.
Yeah.
Okay, the rest of them, they all look to me why is this allowed? We're in charge now. Okay, this shouldn't.
No, they looked uncomfortable. Trump looked annoyed. Vance looked annoyed. Everyone else looked very uncomfortable. Melania stone cold, but that's her face usually. So.
Yeah, so I'm with you. And as a person who senses other people's emotions, I sense that.
Yeah.
And it makes it uncomfortable. But also remember that speaking truth to power is supposed to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So in a sense, I'm glad. I don't know why, but the guy next to Tiffany is the one that
he's so uncomfortable. He's is this happening?
He's wait, I thought we were in charge. I thought we didn't have to listen to immigrants or LGBTQ people anymore. That's the sense I get from. I'm being unfair to him because I don't know anything about the brother. Okay, but overall, yeah, I'm glad she made them uncomfortable just to shake up the way that they think and get them to think about it for a second. Not likely to work.
Yeah,
but good effort.
All right.
Also, not very exciting.